Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I am using my phone to record this, and I've been through all the options in the phone and done one or two little test bits, and this is the phone. That's what I'm using. It's a Samsung A52s 5G. And I'm just trying out the camera to see what the quality of the videos are, because I am sick of my laptop making everything light and dark all the time, and just a slight movement and I was getting bright. It was going very bright and the light from the window was coming in and making it too bright, and something to do with autofocus, and you just cannot turn the autofocus off on the laptop. So I needed a new phone anyway, so I'm trying out the quality on there, and I have done one or two little tweaks to it and all that, because I did a little sample earlier on. It's just after 9 o'clock now, but I did a little sample earlier on after, well, I was straight up in the shower and my breakfast and that this morning, and that, and had a little bit muck about with it, and I did a little sample and I was shown this, I think it was, pattern thing, and the writing was all back to front and all that, so I had to go back in the camera and change that round to flip the, I think you flip something around in the workings of the camera and all that, and I think it's right now. We'll come to that anyway after. But I'm knitting Daggery's. This is Daggery's cardigan. No, it's not cardigan, it's a short sleeve sweater. The one she sent me, well, she gave me the link to a free pattern on a site called Barocco. Barocco or Barocco, I don't know how you pronounce it, but it was all this kind of wool. I can get it open. It was this comfort double knit, and this double knit is, I'll tell you some way what it's made of. It's so much nylon, and oh, it tells you on the front. It's 50% superfine nylon and 50% superfine acrylic. It's supposed to be double knitting, and it does not knit like double knitting. It's more like 4-ply to me. But you can knit it on 4mm needles and it does come out right, but what it feels like, you can look at it there, it looks very thin. But it does seem to knit right on 4mm needles, but I do have to have more stitches to the inch. I do have to have 6 stitches instead of 5.5 stitches, what I normally get on double knitting. But anyway, I worked out the pattern that Daggery gave me the link to. I did download it and print it out, and it's just, my words, is utter crap. The instructions was just not right, and I knew for a fact it wouldn't have fit her the size I was supposed to do, and it wouldn't have come out right. So I'm just working out my own. Everything I do, you know, when I work anything out my own, that's just what I do. I just write things down, what I'm doing. And I'll have to write down how many rows of rib I did, because it's a short rib. I think I only did 12 rows of rib, and I have cast on 137 stitches, I think it was. But it's just going to be a little short sleeved V-neck with a little pocket over one of the boobs, I think it is on the picture. But I'll copy the from the picture as best I can to get what Daggery wanted in the first place. But like I said, I have still got this rotten cold. I'm supposed to go to bingo tomorrow night, but I don't know whether I'm going, because this cold seemed to, when I first got it, it seemed to be started to go away, but then it's come back again. and I do seem to be coughing a lot, so I don't want to, really not happy about going to bingo, and if I'm coughing, you know, I'm going to annoy them in the middle of the bingo. But my friend will say it's all right, you know, because she wants a lift off me, but she'll just have to get her husband to give her a lift like she did last week. But I usually go to my granddaughter's today on a Wednesday, but with Craig doing shift work with a partner, Craig, he does different shifts. So when he's not working, she works. She works in a nail salon in an area around where we live, Wallsend. And that's where she's working. She is working today, so, but she said she's not working tomorrow because Craig will be working, so I said I'll go down tomorrow instead. I could go down, you know, well, Craig with the kids, but I just haven't been in the mood the last few days. Craig messaged me yesterday and he asked if I would bring my lawnmower down because theirs is kaput. And he said the garden's in a mess. You know, it needs, the grass needs cutting, so I wasn't feeling very well yesterday. Actually, I was going to go to bed until he messaged me, and I thought I'd go to bed for a couple of hours, but he messaged me, so I thought I got the lawnmower out and put it in my car and took it down. Well, the littlest one, the 3-year-old Eddie, was there because he's at nursery in the morning, but this was in the afternoon. He was home from nursery, and when he seen me coming in the car, because I didn't go in the house, I just let Craig get the lawnmower out of the back of the car, and I got back in the car, and I was saying to Eddie, I'll see you tomorrow, Eddie, I'm not coming today. And his face, I think he was going to start crying when I left, because I left without going in the house, but I just didn't feel up to playing with Thomas the Tank Engine and all them other things, so I went home anyway. And then just went to bed for a couple of hours, just didn't really feel that much better, but I suppose it was better than sitting trying to stay awake and doing knitting. I did some knitting later on. There's a little bit of this what I did last night. But I also have a cardigan. I've finished this cardigan. I finished it a couple of days ago actually. This was a little one I've been working on, and I did get it finished. It had two balls, 200-gram balls of this wool, and there's a little hat on the pattern, but I didn't have enough to do the hat. I'm just doing the cardigan, and it does feel rather chunky actually. It's, don't know whether the wool's thicker or whether it's because it's cable and the cable pulls it in, so it makes it feel thicker. And it is I think I remember what size I did. I'll have to check. That was a little one on the pattern. That's just a little, really small one that the little baby's wearing. But it was, yes, I did what said was a 20 to 22 inch, but the actual finished measurement is 24. So I would say it's more of a 24 than a 20 to 22, because it does stretch out a lot. And when I first made it, I was sewing it up, and I'm looking, you know, I just couldn't find buttons that looked right on it. I had cream ones and I tried them and they just didn't look right. And I didn't have any the right size in the, there's like little blue spots and little yellow spots and light blue and darker blue spots. The other buttons just didn't look right on it. And then I remembered, oh, I've got these wooden buttons, and I think they look much better. So that's what I put on, but I did have a problem with this when I was knitting it. Didn't realise till I was actually sewing it up, and I found a mistake I had made on the back on one of the cables. Till I find it. It was a cable, it was right down here at the bottom. That would have meant I would have had to pull that whole, unpick all the sewn and pull the whole lot out. And I wasn't doing that. And what I had done, I had crossed one of the cables the wrong way. I was crossing with the cable at the front all the time, and I must have crossed it at the back, instead of having the cables crossing like all over like that all the time. It was like an S shape like that. And I thought, you know, I think I remember telling my granddaughter, and she said, well, it'll not be noticeable, Nana. And I said, I know, but I know. So the only thing I thought I could do, I pulled it out. I did pull it out. I stretched out the piece where the fault was like that. I snipped the wool in the very centre where the cable is, and took the stitches out to each side of the cable, crossed the cable over the right way, wove the stitches in on one side. I got the stitches to weave in perfect on one side, but when I come to weave in the other side, it just would not weave in properly. Didn't matter what I did, I couldn't get the stitches in right. And the only thing, I don't know whether I've twisted one of the stitches when I've been picking them back up or not, I don't know, but there is a slight, I'll show a close up on the thing and you'll see, you might be able to see. There, that little area there, there's a slight, the difference goes up the middle, but when you hold it out, you can't see it. It sort of disappears into the pattern. So I was going to sell this for £12. I was going to put it on my eBay shop for £12, but I'm going to reduce it down to £10 because of that little fault. So if anybody's interested, it will be up on my eBay shop, and I'll put a link to the shop in the description box when I put the video up. And it is a nice little cardigan, and it is, like saying, it's very stretchy because of the cables. So it'll fit a 24-inch, no trouble. So I would say it's more 22 to 24 inch than a 20 to 22, because I think the wool is a bit thicker than what was intended for the pattern, so it's come out a little bit better. And I can see, looking at this video on my, I'm looking straight at the video on my phone, and the colour and everything looks perfect. It looks like what they're supposed to look like, the colours. My cardigan is the correct colour. My t-shirt is the correct colour. This little thing I was doing, the colours is correct on this. So I think I'll be using my phone from now on to do videos. It has a larger memory in it than my old phone. And my old phone, when I used to do on my other channel, doing the tutorials where you could only see my hands, sometimes when I was doing them, the picture used to keep going blurry on and off because there was an autofocus on it, used to keep coming on, spoiling the video. Sometimes I used to have to pause until the focus went back to normal, but this one doesn't seem to do that. I'm hoping it doesn't anyway. I haven't done anything like that yet to try it yet, like, but anyway, I'm back to my knitting. At least I feel a lot better today. I've had a better sleep and actually went to bed earlier last night. I very rare go to bed before midnight. In fact, sometimes it's 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. Sometimes it's not because I sit knitting that time, just sometimes after I finish knitting I'll start looking through my laptop at YouTube and other things and get carried away. So I went to bed about 10 o'clock last night, and I think I had a good night's sleep, and I feel a lot better today than I was yesterday. So I'll probably get a little bit more, but I've got 1 or 2 little things I might be doing in my garden first before I start doing anything else. I'm just doing a little bit of knitting because I'm doing the video. You know, because this video is called Sheila's Knitting Tips and Other Stuff. And you know, I've been looking on the analytics of the channel, and they tell you when you look, you can look through everything on the analytics. It tells you how many subscribers you might have had, how many have unsubscribed from you and that. And I've had 700, around about 700 people unsubscribe me. And I think it's because some people subscribe because they think it's just knitting. And then when they see another video come up, Might not be about knitting, it might be about something else, because that's what I do. And they'll say, oh, I only want a knitting channel, unsubscribe. Instead of reading the title when they do subscribe. But I don't know why people do that, because I subscribe to people and I wouldn't think of unsubscribing just because they don't put everything on that I want every time. But that really annoyed me when I looked through all those analytics on my channel and saw that how many had actually unsubscribed. I would be on nearly 4,000 subscribers now if they hadn't unsubscribed. Rotten so-and-sos. But anyway, that's my bit. And everyone, let me know what you think of this video, the quality of the video, because I want to know. I think this one might show the wrinkles on my face a bit better than the other videos I've done, because I can see them from here, and I'm sitting on my settee looking at my phone, and I can see everything a lot clearer than it was before. So the thumbs up and subscribe. I'll catch you all again another time, so bye for now.